LiveLine on RTE Radio 1, sponsored by Harry Curry. Refresh your home with the latest colours and designs in curtains and bedding, in store or at harrycurry.com.
0818 715 815.
Yes, good afternoon. You are very welcome to Liveline here on RTE Radio 1. If you want to get in touch, you can use the WhatsApp number 087 484 8888. You know, if you use it once, it's there. It's in your WhatsApp. Easiest thing in the world to use it again. You can email, as always, liveline at rte.ie or contact us by phone 0818 715 815. And Maria is on the line. Maria, you're very welcome to Liveline. You were the victim of an elaborate scam. How much money did you lose?
€18,000.
Okay, 18 grand gone.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the start. So paint a picture for me. You're at home and you're looking for a few extra quid to supplement the pension. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm online and yeah, I'm looking up. I'm looking up jobs. I'm not looking for something, too taxing, but I was, there's a lot of jobs online and I found one, which was Netflix.
Okay. Now, we should say at the outset,
Netflix, I should say.
Yeah, somebody, it turns out, borrowing or stealing the name of Netflix and nothing to do with them. But for from the point of view of you looking for it, it's advertised. It looks like a job with Netflix. What was the job?
Yes. The job was, I'll just explain. The job was you got you got 2 sets of tasks of 30 each. And you had to do these tasks and you had to write a little synopsis on each film that came up while you're doing your task. So say you press number 1 and a film will come up, whether you know it or not. If you've ever heard of it or not heard of it, they want you to write a little bit and then there's 5 stars and you pick whatever you think how good it is or how bad it is. But I did say to her, her name was Jessica, she was my mentor, and I said, how can I review something I haven't seen? And she said, oh, don't worry about that. You read the brief little synopsis there and you can judge yourself. Sorry, Kieran, I hope I didn't overstep you there.
No.
Yeah,
so it's writing kind of 2-sentence reviews for movies, whether you've seen them or not.
Reviews, yeah.
You mentioned Jessica, so this mentor. So how do we get to this point? Jessica. Was there a job interview process?
I'll tell you, this is what happened. I sent a message to say I was interested in this job, and I got a message back about a couple of hours later from this girl. A person called Jessica, and she said, I see that you're interested in the job. Would you like to know more about it? And I said yes. And I asked her, would you like me to send you my CV? Just to give her, my background. And she said no. She said I will have a chat on text, by the way, and on text. So we did that, and she was saying, about customer services and all of that kind of thing, which I was involved in quite big in my job in customer services and customer relations, and that was fine. So she said, when would you like to start? And I said, well, we can start tomorrow.
Okay.
So that's how it went. The following day, she said to me, I'm going to ask you to go on this thing called Telegraph. I'd never heard of it. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Or Telegram. Is it Telegram? It's kind
Telegram,
of, it's
sorry,
like another
Telegram,
version of
sorry.
WhatsApp. It's an encrypted messaging platform, yeah.
Yes, that's what it is. Thank you for explaining it that way. I'd never heard of it, but she said she would like me to go on it, and she gave me an address, a code, an address, an email or whatever you want to call it, to just click in there, a click-in thing, and I did that and I was on it. And when I got in, she said, it's a very nice site and there's lots of members and you can chat away to them. So I looked at all these members and they are all faces and people and they're chatting and they're commenting on different things. Very authentic.
And when you say commenting on different things, all work-related? Are they
about their work, yeah.
Okay.
And then they'd say something like, I bought this for lunch. There was a picture of a Dior bag that this woman had made €2,000 and she went and bought this, that kind of thing.
Okay.
That kind of story. And showing off what they had made that day on the platform.
So,
or what they'd made, yeah.
So at this stage, how did you think the remuneration was going to work. Were you going to get a salary? Were you going to get paid per review? What did this Jessica in inverted commas say?
And Jessica said that there's a basic salary, and you get commission on each film.
Okay.
Depending on the value of the film, we just say maybe €30 for this one and €50 for another one, depending on the rating of the film. So that was fine. So you get 30 tasks in a set, and I clicked away and I, gave my opinion on the stars. And when I got to a certain number, I think it was either 9 or 11, I'm not sure, on this one, it stopped. I couldn't move further. And I took a screenshot and I sent it to the mentor, Miss Jessica one, and she came back and said, she said, you've got a premium ticket.
Okay.
And I said, what does that mean? And she said, you get 8 times your commission on this. So that was kind of nice. And then she said, but you have to put in a percentage. You have to deposit a percentage. And I said, why have I to do that? And she said, because that's how the merchants work. You put your deposit in, and when you get to number 30, when you're finished your task, you get all that back, everything back. And I did. I finished the whole set, and I think it was something like 150, €200. And you have to leave €50 in your wallet account.
Okay, but you actually, I mean, it at this point it all feels above board. I mean, you're.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because you've actually got cash in hand at this stage. You've got money in your account.
You do. You have money in your account, exactly. So I was very happy with that, and I went off. That was fine. I was delighted with this job, and it wasn't, taking up too much time, and that's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
KIERAN. Very authentic, and they show you when I finished my set of tasks. Customer service, you show them you finished, you send them this thing, and they come back to you and say, congratulations, and now your account is whatever it is, say €250 because
and sorry, and this is when you got money, you say, into your account, the actual, when I described it as cash in hand, what account was that?
It was an account that they set up for you under this wallet, but you can transfer it into your bank account.
Okay, so they set up a kind of a digital wallet, so a digital vault, essentially, however people want to describe it. It's a crypto account, okay.
Yes.
And the money's in that. You were able to transfer out the first tranche.
I was able to take my money. Once you get to 30, you can cash withdraw.
Okay.
It's a withdrawal, and you've got a withdrawal code and all of that,
Okay.
that you follow your, like any code in the bank, your own codes. And that was fine. And then set number 2. So I was very happy with everything. So I was on my second set of tasks of 30, and I was going along, and the next minute that thing happened again where it stopped.
Okay.
And it went bing bong, and I took a screenshot and I sent it to my mentor, and I said, is this one of those premium tickets? And she said, yes. And she said, oh my goodness, you're so lucky because you got one of those in your last, and now you've got one here. And sometimes you don't get anything like that. And she was all, about it. And she was very, very, believable. If you were talking to her on the show today, you would think that she's a real person.
Yeah.
Texting, I should say, texting. You don't talk to them, but she was all about it. And she said, congratulations, and I'm sure you're delighted, and I hope you go for dinner and all this stuff, or go do something nice with it. However, I had to finish that 30 set.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had to put in again more money into a percentage of that commission. The commission on a premium ticket was 8 times multiplied by your commission. So say if you got 30 quid, it's €320.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. But you can't touch it until you're finished.
Okay.
So I think I put in €200 or €300 at this stage. And then I went on, and the next 2 or 3 tasks later, it went again, and it was another premium ticket. So this is 2 premium tickets in second set. You can only get 3 in a set. That's the max, and very few people. This is according to Jessica in brackets. It's rare to get them, but I got them. I got another one, and this time it was. I think it was 2000. I have it written. I have it all on my phone, but I'm just because I'm on speaking on air. I'm a little bit nervous, But 2000. So then I had some money myself first, so I put that in, and then it went on, and I got another premium ticket and this was going up to €5,000. And I said, I can't do this.
Sorry, this is how much they needed you to put in.
Yes, sorry.
In order to avail of that. Well, no, you did. Just for people at home, really, to keep following. So each time one of these bing bongs, as you describe it, the tickets appear, they say, oh, you can really, you're going to make a huge amount of money at the end of this job, but you've got to give us, first of all, a few €100, then a couple of €1,000. And then they're saying, actually, if you give us €5,000 now, because this is your third premium ticket, by the end of this set of tasks, you are quids in.
You get 25,000. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So and I have, so I was in an awful state because I thought I have to finish this because I put 2,000 of my own money in and then I had to borrow, and this is the part I hate. I'm not a borrower. I hate borrowing money. Sorry, excuse me. But I did borrow money, and I pretended it wasn't. It was for something else. I mean, because nobody knew. Nobody knows. Borrowed off friends and borrowed off family. I put the money in. And that was my third premium ticket. And about 4, I continued my tasks. They said, no, you've got that money in. It's fantastic. And, all of this stuff goes on in the background. Your mentor will tell the members, and the members say, wow, fantastic. Oh, look at you and all of this. And they're all, cheering. Yeah. And I'm going, I just want to get it finished at this stage. And I went further. And at this, what do you call those things in New Year that go up in the sky? Fireworks came up on my screen, big fireworks, and I said, "What is this?" And noise and all of that. Another massive bing bong thing. So I got onto my mentor and I said, "What is this?" She said, "Oh my God, you've got a deluxe ticket." She said, "These are rare. They're the rarest thing, and they're 24 times your commission."
Okay,
which means that you have to put in a percentage of that commission. It's very high because you're on a high stake at this stage because you're on this deluxe. And it was €8,500.
So sorry, you've given. You're all right. So you give a few. Do you know what? Sorry, it's worth reiterating for people at home wondering why you're doing it. You'd gone through one set of tasks and it worked exactly as Jessica had described it was going to work. You gave them a little bit of money and you got more money at the end. So you're doing the same thing, and you've given a few €100, you gave a couple of grand, you gave $5,000. You're now at the point where you're borrowing money to do this. You're not telling people what it's for.
No.
I assume you've got to borrow that €8,500 as well, do you?
Yes. And sorry, I guess I'll continue. I'm just a bit upset because
it's okay.
I wanted to say something before I continue. It's not all the money. It takes a whole lot out of you. I mean, I feel dirty. I feel disgusting. I feel I was in an underworld place. Is that what you call it? Underworld, dark web. So I feel awful. Yeah. It's terrible. It's not just the borrowing of the money and owing it, which is huge. It's everything else. It just takes a part of you away, KIERAN.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Maria, I don't know if this is any solace, but you're the victim in this. You know what I mean? And
I know, but you don't
should remember that. I know.
I know that. And your lovely team there were so good. Lisa Marie and Laura, they were so supportive of me. Lisa Marie spent 40 minutes talking about it. So I'm trying to talk about it. If I can save one person today, one person from getting into that mess I was in, I would be thrilled.
And so
it can be anyone. It can be, any young person, middle-aged, elderly. It can be your mother, your sister, your brother, your children, anybody. Sorry, Alfred, I just had to.
I know, and that's why we're talking about it. That's why you got in touch. Remember,
of course, yeah.
Remember. So at this point, we're 18,000 in the hole.
Yes.
But you still think that at the end of your 30 tasks, you're getting your 18 back and then some. So tell me what happens.
And then some.
What happens next?
So I borrowed the money off various different people to put in, as I told you. And I thought, okay, I've only got I think I had 11, 10 to go, we'll say. Say it was a number 20. I can't remember offhand, but I have it all. Thankfully, I took a screenshot of everything. And so I'm at this stage, and the next minute, I'm very nervous because I feel I have to get the money to pay back. I have to continue this. I have no choice. So she said to me, there won't be any more. You've got your 3 premium tickets and you've got your deluxe. So just work away. And when you get to 30, you'll be getting, what was it, €82,000.
Yeah. Okay.
So I go and I continue. And when I get to number 30, I just press the button. What happens? That big, huge, massive firework thing comes up again. And bing bang, and congratulations. And I thought, what the hell? And I contacted my mentor and I said, this can't be right because there can't be any more. You told me, and customer service said, they promised I get all my money plus my commission on number 30. So she said, she texted back and she said, yes. She said, this is unusual. I'll have to go and see what's happening. And she went off. But of course, this is probably somebody in a room, often God knows where. There's no Jessica.
No.
So anyway, she
probably just went out for a cigarette somewhere and came back in.
Yeah, exactly. Or we had a cup of coffee. Or probably said, we'll go for a drink tonight. This one, we have this one. And I really do think that now. Anyway, so at this stage, I'm at my €18,000.
Yeah.
And they want 20,000 to get €102,000. 20,000 percentage of the commission on this massive deluxe. And the name of the film, I can't remember, but I did send it in to Lisa Marie. I can't remember the name of it. But this was a massive thing altogether. And the merchants who would be buying the film for cinemas and whatever else they do with it. So I said to her, I can't do this. And she said, listen, she said, I know it's a lot of money, but you can borrow, haven't you got friends and family? So that was the day I was on my own in my house. My husband was away and my children were away, and I sat down, and a friend of mine was going to be coming down for the weekend, but she couldn't, something happened, and she rang me and I rang her back, and I was chatting away, and then I booked down and I told her everything. I felt so alone, Kieran, because you're isolated. Even no matter where you are, you're isolated because you're doing this awful thing. And all the money I owe, I just feel so terrible. I never borrowed money like this in my life. I'm sorry for getting up. I just feel, if I could just save one person.
Yeah.
And you feel dirty, you feel awful, you feel guilty. And while I was going through all of this, you're not a bit focused when you're in the middle of all of this. You're not focused. You can't concentrate. I'm an avid reader. I couldn't read a sentence. You're secretive, and that scared me. That scared me, even though while I was going through this, it scared me. Secretive, but that's not right.
And I assume as well, because people, and people will be wondering, could you are doing it really, really well, Maria. People will be wondering if you could have cashed out at any point along the way. I assume they say no.
I'm coming to that now.
You can't cash out until the very end.
Yeah. Because I asked on numerous occasions. I forgot to point that out because I've been through it. And yes. So I said, please, may I have the money? And she said, no, you can't. The rules are there. You can't touch the money in your wallet until you finish. And that's how they have you. And up to today, they haven't taken me away. But I'm not in contact. They can't see me, but I can see them. I've blocked everything. But I can see every day. I can see what they're doing. Not that I look at it every day, and they're all fantastic. They're congratulating each other. And
I'm reading it here. I've got you sent us some of their some of the messages, and I'm looking at them here, and it's all kind of it's all like this positive affirmation. The path to success always leads through willpower and perseverance, and other things. There's somebody talking about their energy levels being at 10%, but they're about to go through the roof. And great teamwork today. Happy Thursday. The energy feels good, and what have you. But there's also there's an interaction between two people where somebody purports to be in a situation like yours. Oh no, there's premium ticket, but I can't go for it. Yeah. I don't have enough money. And then somebody else responds and says, you've got to do it. Isn't there somewhere you can get the money? And then lo and behold, he says he got the money off a friend, and it's all presented as this brilliant. This could all be the same person. This could be one individual sending messages over and back amongst themselves just to encourage you.
Oh yeah, of course. And obviously, and if you see that, do you see a brown square with numbers out there in front of you on that sheet?
While I look for it, you explain what that's about.
Okay, on that sheet, that's you. If at the bottom, you'll see a ballot. You'll see 30/30. Beside that, there'll be a figure.
Yeah.
5,000 or something like that.
I see.
That's what he did. Yeah. Now that 5,000 is then just commission. So Maria would have got 20,000. Maria from that for that. And I'm sure it's on my phone somewhere because I've taken screenshots of most stuff.
Yeah.
But that's to lead you on.
And
this guy, look, these people are probably sitting in a room. Actually, I think they're in Germany. I've figured a few things out on that one.
Okay.
Some of them are German. But I know that.
I guess the nature of these things, they could be literally anywhere in the world.
But they're all over the world, I'd say.
How it works, yeah.
There are two people on that screen, and that man, that Katie person that you're talking about, who said he was doing brilliant, and there's another guy on it called Leon, and they're not really their names, but they're the people that come back. They are probably the two people running the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, God knows what their real names are or what their real pictures are.
I wouldn't like to. And you get a picture of your mentor, and she's beautiful, beautiful looking young girl. Sorry, but I want to explain to everybody. Sorry, you go ahead, Kieran, because you're interviewing me.
No. This is your story and your best place to tell it. I was just going to ask how long. You know, we've flew through all this over just a few minutes, but how long?
Fast,
no, what I mean is how long did this all go on for? How many days or weeks?
Over 2 months.
Okay. And
because
can I ask you,
because
Maria?
I had to stop. Yeah.
When you borrowed the money, you said you didn't tell people what it was for. What did you tell them you were borrowing the money for?
It depends on who I was borrowing from. I would say I'm really stuck. I will have, and I'll have it back to you in a week because I thought I would. Could you lend me X, say €1,000? Could you lend me 2,000? Could you lend me 4,000? And or else I generally went for the 2,000 from each because I did think I wouldn't borrow a shilling if I thought I couldn't pay it back because I really thought this was going to happen. And you know, another thing that I'd like to point out is that I'm not a stupid person by nature. You know, I have a brain, and like we all do, but you're so caught up in this you don't see it. Only in hindsight, and hindsight is not a great thing, because in some occasions I went back, look, and I found little things that were wrong. But you don't see that when you're doing this. Wrong things, wrong spelling of a word.
Can I ask? So you said that you'd given the 18,000 and you're making your way to the 30. You get to 30, the rocket goes off, the fireworks, the bing bong. They're looking for 20 grand now to finish. You're going to make a huge amount of money. You said you didn't have €20, and your friend phoned you and you broke down. So what?
Yes.
I mean, when did the penny drop? At what point did you realise?
It was that day.
Okay.
It was that day. It was a Saturday. I was on my own at home. As I say, my husband and family were away. And I looked at this 20,000 and then I just thought, it's just too good to be true. And I was deeply upset inside in myself because, number one, I had to pay all those people back, and I've applied for a loan. I hope I get it. I'm up for all, actually. And sorry, Kieran, but yes. So, and then I knew. And this friend of mine, very good, close friend of mine, was due to come down that day, but she couldn't for some reason. She lives in County Kildare, and herself and another friend of mine in County Kildare, these two women are the people who encouraged me to go on the show today. They are the people who suggested. And I didn't want to come on the show in the beginning. And then I thought, how, if I could save even one person from getting into this. And I hope people who are listening out there, you know, if there's somebody acting funny in the house, or a friend, try and work out what it is. It could be, because I have looked up about these scams. And first of all, Ireland is the easiest country in Europe to scam. I don't know why. I've looked up all the figures. And hundreds upon hundreds of people have been scammed by this Netflix. Now, there's other people who are it's not the same people. There's Netflix all over the place. You know, there's scammers all over the place. Netflix is a great thing to use because they've got the red. I looked at everything. Perfect. The N, the F, everything is perfect. Yeah. When I look closely at my code, or that address that you press to get into your, what do you call it? You know, into your platform. You know, like an email address.
Yeah, the website address.
And I saw the X was in a different place.
Okay.
And that was after I copped on. And there was other things wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible because you owe this money. You really believe them. I mean, they are extremely very believable. And I know there are people out there saying, "Oh my God, wasn't she awful stupid? And how could that happen?" But it did, and it does.
Yeah.
And I'm not stupid.
No, and it should be said, and again, I'm going to reiterate the point in case people have only joined us now, that
yes,
Netflix had nothing to do with this. This was somebody stealing their name and their good name, as you say. But the point is, and this isn't fake kind of solace I'm offering, Maria, but this is basic human. If you think of any game show in the world, think of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. What do? They want you to take a risk to get a bit more money, and take another risk to get a bit more money. I mean, it's the premise, the mechanic, and so much, and that's really what they're doing here. It's the same mechanic. Take a risk, and you'll make more money.
In a bigger way.
Yeah.
But in one of those, the Chase or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you can stop. There's a point that you can stop and say, "No, I don't. I'll take the 5,000."
This one, you're stuck.
Yeah. But you can't, because they give you a big rigmarole about the rules and regulations, and I don't know if you have a piece of paper in front of you where it says EU Commission. You have to pay 5,000 commission out of this, and I questioned. I said, "Why would I have to pay this? I'm European myself." She came back and she came back. She took ages to come back. A rigmarole. This person obviously went and found out something about the EU, and they put in a big rigmarole about it.
Yeah.
Because and Kieran, I will say this: I asked her on 4 occasions, "Was this a scam?" And I was telling Lisa Marie, your lovely researcher, this morning, that she was very hurt that I would think of such a thing, and she's got to know me, and she considered me a friend, and she couldn't get over the fact that I thought it was scam. And she said, "How could you say that?" And they really, and then I felt terrible. I felt, "Oh my gosh, I'm so mean." I felt really bad that I had, but it was only, it's hard to explain it, but you're in a bubble.
Yeah.
It's unreal. I hope people understand.
I think they do. I think they do.
And you're really bad, and sleeping, I can't sleep at all. I really need about a week's sleep.
Yeah.
I'm just so anxious. And and I'm very, very lucky because I have a fantastic husband, and I had to tell him when he came home.
What was his reaction?
He's a very calm person, thank God. He said, "Oh gosh," he said, "that's terrible." But he said, "God, you poor thing."
Yeah.
And then he said, "Look, we have been through a lot. We'll get through this." And he hugged me, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when you're not in it yourself, it's kind of. And my husband isn't a man of many words. Men are a little bit different to women, and that's where my friends come in. If anybody is listening to the show and they're going through this, ring somebody you trust.
Yeah.
Get on to somebody you trust very much. And Lisa Marie did speak to my friend this morning, one of my friends, of those 2 people that live in County Kildare, and she came back to me, and Lisa Marie said she is so angry and cross. No, not with me, obviously, about it, and the support of that girl.
Yeah.
And this and family. This is where you can take what's the word? You know who your friends are.
Yeah. I should say we have a statement from Garda Síochána who say they're investigating a number of incidents of online fraud reported in September and November, and investigations are ongoing, and they're appealing to anyone who believes they may have been a victim to get in touch with their local Garda station. And they say members of the public should use consumer review sites like trustpilot.com to see how reliable a website is. You should also use check.cyberskills.ie and fraudsmart.scamchecker.ie. And they go on to say, Garda Síochána urges the public to stop and think before making payments to or releasing any personal data to persons unknown. If in doubt, don't do it. So that's the advice from Garda Síochána. You mentioned, Maria, sorry, the loan application. I assume that's you've applied for a loan to pay people back, is it?
Yeah, I haven't received any reply back from the loan yet, and that's another thing. I'm just very, very anxious. If I don't get this money, I can't. And I've never we had our mortgage paid after 12 years. That's quite an achievement, in a way. And then we had, other things. We had no loans, no credit cards, just debit cards, nothing. I would be giving a lot to charities. I love doing that. And I got involved in this, and it's disgusting. You feel disgusting as well.
Yeah.
And you don't like yourself.
Can I ask you, Maria, sorry, the The reason you did this in the first place, I'm just conscious, is that you
Sure.
know, you said you were
I
trying to
just wanted to
supplement
make
your
you
income, make a few quid.
Yes.
I mean, not only has that not
Just have a
happened,
bit extra.
you've got all this
But
debt, and now you're going to have to service it with the bank loan. I mean,
yeah,
will you be okay
the cost of living
finance-wise?
has gone crazy. I don't want to talk about that, Kieran. Is that all right? Because I don't know. I will be. I'll be fine. Yes, I'll be fine. Like, look, 'cause we're not. We own we own our own home. We own our cars and whatever. But yeah, it's going to be tough. And the cost of living is just gone crazy. It's just about bearable. And I'm not the only person. Just because I was scammed is not that reason. Everything is really expensive. And there's bills all the time. You know, your ESB bill, your phone bill, your house insurance, house tax, all those, everything that everybody pays. But this loan is very important because I have to pay those people back. And I'm in such a state all the time. I hope I get approved. I was hoping to get approved this week, please God. I hope I do,
Yeah.
You see, I haven't, now I'm on air saying it, but I hadn't told, as I said, my friends and close family and that's all. But I have to get through it.
Yeah.
What can I do?
You do. And Maria,
know,
sorry, the advice you gave everybody, I'm going to give back to you, Maria. You said if people find themselves in this situation, to talk to somebody. You're still in it. So, I mean, you should lean on those two friends and lean on your husband and lean on everybody. And there's no shame in it.
I don't like, I feel shame. I'm embarrassed. I'm shamed.
I know.
I
and
don't like myself.
that's a normal
It's
reaction
just a
too,
terrible
but
feeling.
you shouldn't.
Yeah. But my friends are really good. And I have supported my friends in the past. They've supported me in different ways, maybe minding children, stuff like that. And, but this is a huge thing. And they have been brilliant. And I can't tell you, that's why out there, I don't care who your friend is, if you're in the situation I'm in, stop now. Yeah. You're not going to get a penny.
Listen,
you're never, and your money's gone. It's all through crypto.
It doesn't,
no contact.
It does. I mean, it doesn't help with the immediate situation, but I think you should take some solace in the fact that the Gardaí are saying they're investigating a number of incidents along these lines. So you're not alone in this. Unfortunately, in a way, but
report it immediately. And the Gardaí have been very good to me.
And I'm Garda Síochána say, if this all sounds familiar to you, get in touch with your local Garda station. Maria, listen,
and it's too good to be. Yeah,
stay with us. We just have to. No, you're all right, but we just have to take a very quick break. We'll stick with this. We'll be back in a moment.
LiveLine on RTE Radio 1, sponsored by Harry Curry. Visit one of our 44 stores across Ireland for quality curtains and bedding at great prices. Find your perfect style today.
LiveLine with KIERAN CUDDIHY.
Yes, 0818 715 815 is the number if you want to get in touch, particularly if you're someone like Maria, who's still with us, who was the victim of this elaborate scam and lost €18,000 online. And Susan's after reaching out to us as well. Susan, you're welcome to LiveLine.